Welcome to Jackie Robinson Memorial Field in Pasadena, California. It's game number 30 for the Saints, and their 29th yesterday did not go as planned. Playing the lowly Philippines baseball group, the Saints fall by a final score of 6-2 and lose a big opportunity to gain ground on the Barons, a team they're looking up at in the CCL standings as they try to make the postseason. Well, I'm Max Langer alongside Riley Horn, and Riley, tough loss yesterday, but with where the Saints are in the standings and season, got to flush it quickly, move on, and go out and win today.
Absolutely. You got to use today as a bounce-back game, trying to climb your way back up in those standings. Obviously, the Barons playing today, the Saints playing today. It's a good opportunity for the Saints to potentially gain ground on the team that they're chasing. You know, they're 3.5 games behind the Barons as of right now, but there's still a couple games left to go in the season. Definitely enough time where if the Saints team continues to be hot here in July, continue to win games, they can get into that playoff picture.
Indeed it is. For the fourth and final time this year, the Saints will welcome the Bombers of San Diego to Pasadena. Let's take a look at the lineup that they'll throw out there today. Dylan Martin, the shortstop, will lead it off with Ryan Jackson in center hitting second. Gianluca Finelli, the left fielder, hits third, with Jeremy Jones, the leading RBI man on the season for San Diego, hitting fourth. Nick Halleckitz, the catcher, slots in the 5-hole with Osias Hinojosa. First action against the Saints this year at third base and hitting sixth. The bottom third, Gannon Dwyer at first, Aiden Capel, the second baseman, and Royce Lewis, the DH, rounds it out and hits ninth. On the mound for the Saints is Hudson Carvalho.
Yeah, Carvalho been a guy with one other start on the season. Ended up being his last time out back on July 11th against the Oaks. He went 5 innings, gave up just 1 hit and 2 earned runs. And those earned runs coming mostly from the free pass. 4 walks to just 2 strikeouts. Carvalho, a guy with good stuff on the mound, good presence, and a good starting arm for the Arroyo Seco Saints. He's just got to keep it in the zone.
85 degrees, a scorching summer day here in the middle of July. 5:35 your local time, starting right on time tonight. Dylan Martin will dig into the left-hand batter's box. Hudson Carvalho on the mound for the Saints, and off we go with the first pitch, fastball low and on the outside corner for strike one. Carvalho again, 5th appearance on the year, 2nd appearance as a starter. He's thrown 10.2 innings so far. Ground ball left side right to Freer to the backhand and out number 1. We're underway as Martin grounds to Freer for the first out of the game.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned this in the pregame segment. Carvalho, a good arm on the mound for Arroyo Seco, just got to keep it in the zone, and he's 2 for 2 so far. Gets that first pitch strike, which is something that last night in the loss to the Philippines, the Saints pitching staff was not too sharp on. Getting in the zone early, getting ahead of batters. Instead, the Philippines were the ones getting ahead, getting in 2-ball, 1 strike, 2-ball, no strike counts, and then we're punishing offensively.
Ryan Jackson fouls the first pitch off to the right and off the screen. Yeah, you look at last night, really golden opportunity. You're playing a team that's 0-19, and the Barons, of course, lose to the Oaks. You got a chance to gain a game, and you kind of blow that opportunity. That's the glass half empty way to look at it, but the Saints still with a chance to make the postseason. Fastball blown by Jackson, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, and 4 for 4 now in the zone is Carvalho. Doing a great job. He's just got to maintain this. It's working out so far through just 4 pitches, and he's got to keep it going.
On a 0-2, Jackson leaves a fastball upstairs, and it's 1-2. You look at the numbers for Carvalho this year. Again, 10.2 innings now at 11 after he recorded the first out of this one. The ERA at 5.91, but really he's been really good. Just 1 blow-up outing against the other San Diego affiliate in the CCL, the Waves. Gave up 6 runs in that game. Has been much better since. Got a strikeout here. Breaking ball gets Jackson, and quickly 2 gone in the first.
Beautiful work there. Using a handful of his pitches so far is Carvalho, and they're all working pretty well. He's using them in tandem with one another, and so far, so good.
So here's Gianluca Finelli. Again, the Bombers, the affiliate team for the CCL, one of them, they've got no home games this year. They don't have a home stadium, so they play all their games on the road. And here in Pasadena, Finelli has seen a lot of action. This is the 4th and final time that these two teams will meet here in the 2026 CCL regular season. Lined up the middle to the backhand diving play, Dylan Emmel, but it trickles by him into center field. 2-out base hit for Finelli.
Yeah, and, you know, it's the guy in the 3-hole, so you would expect he's going to go up there swinging. Finelli does exactly that. Gets a good swing off it, goes backside to the backhand. Great effort by Emmel, but with 2 outs, you still have nothing to worry about for Carvalho.
bring up Jeremy Jones, the right fielder, hitting in the cleanup spot today for San Diego, and rightfully so. 10 RBIs leads this Bombers team. That is not great offensively. Ball kicks away from Andrews behind the plate, and scampering into second base is Finelli. He's now in scoring position. Let's take a moment to give you the Saints defense. Left to right across the outfield, Panarisi, Cheer, Ryder. Third to first, Jacob Freer, Braden Flores, Dylan Emmel, and Sean Asperger, with Camden Andrews doing the catching for Hudson Carvalho. Early opportunity to score here for San Diego. Carvalho's 1-0 is flipped foul, and it's 1-1. This is a Bombers team that is not great offensively. They average only 4.5 runs per game, which by and large is not bad. But in the CCL, a high-scoring offensive lead, 4.5 runs just not going to cut it. But against the Saints, Bombers have been much better this year. 1-1, fly to left field, hit well. Panarisi on the run towards the line. He's got it right on the chalk for out number 3. Hudson Carvalho gives up a 2-out base hit to Finelli, but the Saints strand him at second after a half inning here in Pasadena. No score for San Diego. Saints coming up when we come back.
Baby, if I seem a little bit distracted, like I'm in another place and another time, well, I apologize for the way I'm acting. I just got a lot of loving you on my ever since there's a morning, I've been wondering how you do that thing you did last night. Well.
Hudson Carvalho with a scoreless top of the first. Saints coming up in the bottom half of the inning against the starter for San Diego, Aaron Mingo.
Yeah, Mingo been a guy for the Waves who's a two-way guy, listed on their roster as an outfielder, 6'5", 205 pounds. And on the pitching side of things, he's got a handful of outings going mostly just up to a couple of outs, yet to have a really long start, but he's been up to 2 innings at most, so it's likely we're going to see a heavy bullpen for the Bombers so far today.
First pitch in there, strike one to Braden Flores. Going to hold off on giving you the entire Saints lineup as we've got some last-minute changes here. Been a weird day here at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, but a good one. C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, per sources, were in the area. Popped up left side, the third baseman Hinojosa giving a chase, but it's off to the left and out of play.
You say per sources. Those sources are
They're
pretty personal
accurate.
ones
They're
and pretty
pretty
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming straight from your own and my own experience.
Both of us got to meet the Texans lead man at the QB position. Very cool community outreach event with the YMCA here today. No balls and 2 strikes on Braden Flores. Mingo delivers, and Flores watches a ball miss way outside 1-2. Flores had struggled going to the All-Star break, but has really rebounded nicely the last couple of weeks to get the totals back up there. Particular his last 3 games, 5 for 11 with 5 driven in. And driving in runs is Braden's thing. So good that he's doing that. On a 1-2 from Mingo. Flores watches a fastball miss a little bit outside, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, he's a strong hitter at the top of this Saints order, but you know, he's no stranger to being patient as well. Falls down 0-2, now works it back even, and he's going to look for a pitch to punish here.
Line to third on a couple of bounces. Hinojosa, the long throw across is wide, and it kicks down the right field line. Going to go out of play, and Flores will be gifted second base. Going to be a tough play for Hinojosa at third, but throws it completely by the first baseman Dwyer's glove and down the right field line. That's out of play here at Jackie Robinson Field, and the Saints have a runner at second base to begin the ball game.
Yeah, that's what you look for from the offense, is just putting balls in play and making the defense work. Sometimes that's all it takes for a successful offense, is just getting the bat to ball, seeing what happens. That's exactly what happens there with Braden Flores, and he's now a leadoff man in scoring position.
So Evan Ryder, who's riding a 21-game hitting streak, has a chance to drive a runner in. He's going to bunt it back to Mingo, who will field and throw down to first base. Flores scoots to third on the play. 1 out on 1 pitch, but a productive one for the Saints. And now Flores at third for Brandon Wynn. That was originally Jacob Freer's spot in first place. I think it's also worth mentioning that it wasn't Freer who made that play at third to lead off the game. That was, we believe at the moment, Sean Asperger, though we're going to have to do some digging around in between the half innings to make sure of that. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball from Wynn, and it's 0-1. Wynn really provided a spark when the Saints needed it. Going through a rough patch there, beginning of July, end of June, and Wynn's emergence as a power and defensive threat has really helped. Lines this ball to second base, caught on a line by Capel. And Wynn hits it pretty solidly, but no dice, and Flores remains at third.
Yeah, tough break there for the Saints offense. Really well struck ball off the bat of Brandon Wynn, but unfortunately right to the second baseman, Capel. So now we're going to search for that 2-out RBI. Try and get this one across. You really want to convert that leadoff man into scoring position into a run.
So here's Carson Panarisi in the 4-hole. Lays off the fastball for ball 1. Panarisi back in the lineup after not playing against the Philippines baseball group yesterday. The Saints come back and make the postseason, come back from this 3.5-game deficit that they've got to the Barons right now. They owe a lot of gratitude to Panarisi. He has quite literally made 2 game-saving plays. The walk-off throw a month ago to beat the Philippines baseball group, and the 2 RBI triple to tie the game with 2 outs in the 9th inning on Tuesday. Popped up right side, Capel onto the short lawn and center to put it away for out number 3. Saints with a golden opportunity in the first inning, but they squander it. And after 1 here in Pasadena, we're scoreless. score as we head to the top of the second. Halakits, Hinojosa, and Dwyer coming up for San Diego. Here's Holochitz. Very limited action for this Bombers team. They don't play a lot, does San Diego. That is what happens when you are an affiliate team. There have been 2 stretches this season for San Diego where they've not played a game for at least a week. And the goal is for them, if they win enough, maybe they score an invite to become one of the franchise teams in the CCL South. Right now, currently 5. There's the Saints, the Foresters, the Riptide, the Oaks, and the Barons. On a 1-1, Holochitz swings through the fastball, and it's 1-2. Mentioned this is his 3rd game. One of those games, the first 2 of them, did come against the Saints 11 days ago. Played a back-to-back on the 7th and 8th of July against these Saints and the Oaks, and that's all the action he's gotten this season. Fouled off the screen, and it's still 1-2. Inside, nearly hit him. This is the second to last game that the Bombers will play this year. They see Conejo on Tuesday, obviously on the road, and that will be the final time they'll be in action. Affiliate teams don't qualify for the playoffs, and the Bombers not in that position regardless, even if they had the record. Carvalho's payoff. Halakits swings through the fastball for strike 3. Second K of the day for Hudson Carvalho, and he strikes out Nick Halakits to begin the second.
Yeah, great job bouncing back there by Carvalho. I believe the first batter he's faced today that he's fallen behind went 1-0, then worked his way back and forth, ball strike, ball again, and then gets to the full count pitch and delivers one in the zone, goes elevated with the fastball, gets a swing and a miss.
One out for Osias Hinojosa. His first time playing the Saints all year. Carvalho really pouring in the fastball to begin this one. Want to update you on those defensive changes we promised. Instead of Jacob Freer, who made the play at third to begin the game, that was indeed Sean Asperger. He's at the hot corner today, and Owen Mangini takes Asperger's spot at first base. So we'll give you the Saints defense. Left to right, Panarisi to your right, or still third to first, the updated Asperger, Flores, Immel, and Mangini, and still Camden Andrews catching for Hudson Carvalho. Scoreless in the top of the second between the Saints and the Bombers. Final time these two will meet this year. 2-1. Fouled. Hits the catcher's mask of Andrews. That can't feel good. Carvalho last time out against Conejo went 5 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, and Saints will sign up for that every single time. 2-2. Hinojosa watches strike 3 on the fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin the second for Carvalho. 3 overall, and the first one looking as he gets Hinojosa.
Yeah, third strikeout for Carvalho. We mentioned last inning that he's using all of his pitches really well so far tonight, but the one that's been sort of advanced above the others is that fastball. He's really using that heater at all locations in the zone to keep these hitters a little bit off balance, throw a off speed, and then right back to the fastball, speed these hitters up, and they've been looking a little goofy so far in the box tonight.
2 outs for Gannon Dwyer. Swing and a miss, quickly 0-2. You used the word goofy on how the Bombers are looking. This is a Saints team that, despite how poorly the Bombers have played offensively this year, they have not shut them down themselves. 0-2, nowhere close. 4.5 runs at the average of the year for San Diego, but against the Saints in 3 games, they're averaging, and this certainly is goofy, 6.7 runs.
6-7. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Get out.
I'll mute myself.
1-2 pitch. Dwyer watches it below the zone, and it's 2-2. Saints loving what they're seeing out of Hudson Carvalho so far, a guy that originally started in the bullpen and has transitioned to more of a starter role over the last couple of outings. Here's his 2-2. Dwyer playing in his 14th game. 207 the average. He's got one of just 2 home runs on the year for San Diego. On a payoff, he smokes it to right field, but foul. Just out ahead of the fastball.
Great swing, though. I mean, just a touch too early. That ball absolutely bashed out there. Hit the top portion of that net, which, if I had to guess, would have been at least 375, 380 feet if it were fair, but otherwise just a long strike.
On another payoff, Dwyer watches a cold strike 3 on the inside corner. Hudson Carvalho strikes out the side in the second. He's up to 4 Ks overall and is cruising through 1.5 here in Pasadena.
What's up? I'm Christian Robb. I'm a pitcher.
Cade Schumart, I'm a left-handed pitcher.
And this is Rip and Dex with the Saints. My first card, I got Luke Weaver.
David Fry.
I got Jackson Jobe as my next card, young guy.
We got Landon Knack.
Got Austin Hedges, another good player.
Kiter Montero.
Oh, this one's a freaky card. I got Nick Castellanos.
Oh.
It's Friday the 13th right now, so it's kind of a bad look to pull the Nick Castellanos card on Friday the 13th.
We got Nolan Jones.
JP Sears. Let's read about this guy. He's from South Carolina. That's pretty cool.
Julian Aguilar. I'm not too familiar with these guys.
No, I've heard of him for sure.
He's a pitcher though. He looks nasty.
I got Jesus Luzardo. This guy is nasty.
I got Tyler Fitzgerald.
Oh, here we go. Jordan Romano. Oh, he's from Canada.
Oh,
That's pretty sick.
wowza. Mason Montgomery, left-handed pitcher.
Alex Verdugo. He's nasty.
We got a decent one here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Matt Strom there.
Let's go.
That's huge.
I got Caden Dana. Yeah.
Bro, I just took a look.
Bottom of the second, no score. 6-7-8. Nope, 5-6-7. Coming up for the Saints in the bottom half against Aaron Mingo. Asperger, Andrews, and Shear do up. And then Mangini and Immel to round it out before Flores at the top of the lineup.
Yeah, Mingo last inning gave up a leadoff base runner, not to his own doing, but of his defensive doing. Leadoff error to get Braden Flores up to second base, but then did a great job bouncing back, shutting down the heart of the Saints' order to keep them scoreless.
Asperger playing in his 22nd game. A .319 batting average. He's been really good, especially as of late. And on a 6-game hitting streak coming in to tonight. 1-0, crunch to right center field. Back is Jones. He will look up. It will bounce off of the wall. And Asperger will cruise into second base. He's got a leadoff double. Second inning so far that the Saints have had the leadoff guy at second base. And a double for Sean Asperger to begin the second extends the hitting streak to 7.
This is now another golden opportunity for Arroyo Seco to keep things going. We saw after Braden Flores in the first got on second base with nobody out. Evan Ryder laid down a sacrifice bunt. Cam Andrews back in the lineup today after a couple of days off. We'll see if he does the same.
So here's Andrews with a runner on second base, nobody out. Had a big hit in that game Tuesday against the Barons as well. Game, essentially, you could argue, saved the Saints season to this point. Swing and a miss. Look at that game, 8-6 in the ninth inning. Saints had runners at first and second, a 1-2 count with 2 outs, and Carson Panarisi at the plate. If he makes an out, you can basically kiss the Saints' postseason hopes goodbye. They'd be down 5.5 games to the Barons with 9 to play, but Panarisi has the 2-run triple. The Saints go on to walk it off in extras on the Braden Flores sac fly, and Cam Andrews had a big hit earlier in the game just to get it to that point. Now, 2 for 3 in that game was Andrews. Had a double, a triple, scored a couple of runs. Definitely his best offensive game of the year. Capel holding Asperger on at second. Still a huge gap on the right side of the infield, and Andrews watches the breaking ball sail outside. Barons today are at the Oaks. And if the Saints can win and the Oaks can help out the Saints, the deficit in the standings would be down to 2.5 games with 7 to play for the Saints. Or 6 to play. Meanwhile, the Barons only have 5 more to play. Popped up, right side. Dwyer going back into foul ground. Long run, not going to get there.
Yeah, the Saints yesterday and today being sort of Oaks fans, wanting them to win, wanting them to take down the Barons, help their own chances of getting into the postseason. But they're currently on Game 3 now tonight of a 4-game and 4-day stretch where it starts and ends with the Oaks. So they're going to be Oaks fans tonight, but come tomorrow night, it's back to enemies.
The Oaks actually played the Bombers 3 times more this season, including today. So Saints really pulling for the Oaks, again, outside of tomorrow. In the dirt, and the count is full on Camden Andrews. Andrews has been a lot more patient recently, and it's leading to a lot more of his offensive success. It's also the beginning of the year when he was hitting a lot of singles. He has expanded on the power. In the last week or so, he's got 3 extra base hits. Payoff. Inside, and it hit him. Cam Andrews hit on a 3-2 pitch that was going to be ball 4. He's not going to be happy about that one. The Saints, as a team, though, will. They've got him at first and second for Brody Cheer, who's walking up to some Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah, we had Joe Regan, starting Thursday pitcher, on the broadcast last night for the 2nd and 3rd inning, and he kind of let us in on what this whole new switching around of the walk-up songs is, and it turns out that the rumors are true, and Joe Regan confirmed them, that there is sort of a merit system between the Saints coaching staff and the Saints players, in which there's certain situations where if you don't execute, or if you do something wrong, or if you don't get the job done, that head coach Aaron Milam, pitching coach Matt Stone, whatever side of the ball it's on, will pick your walk-up song. So if not for, trying to succeed for the team's sake, it's succeeding for your own personal embarrassment.
Runners take off, throw to third, not in time. Asperger's in there, and the Saints execute the double steal. Now second and third for Cheer. Pitch called ball 1. Well, if I do say so myself, I think Call Me Maybe, one of the best songs in the last 20 years that's been released. If you're alive, basically, you should like that song. Cheer, fly ball, right field. This should be deep enough. Jones going back. He's got it. Asperger will tag. Throw goes into second base as Andrews takes third base, and Brody Cheer comes through. Saints on the board here in the second on the RBI sac fly, and they take the early 1-0 lead.
And good to see the Saints offense awakening early again. We saw it last night, putting up 2 runs in the first inning, but then for the rest of the game, they went really quiet. I believe only 3 or 4 hits from the second inning to the bottom of the 9th. Saints doing a little bit better so far here tonight, getting a run up now in the second, taking the lead, and they need to keep the offense moving the rest of the night.
So here is Owen Mangini, hitting in the 8th spot, a late addition to the lineup. Infield in for San Diego, and that hits Mangini. Second hit batsman of the inning for Aaron Mingo. And Mangini will trot down to first base. Here's Dylan Emmel with runners at the corners and one out.
Now an opportunity with just one out, with a runner on first and a runner on third to pull off some sort of first and third maneuver. We've seen some execution on the offense so far tonight. Sacrifice bunt in the first, sacrifice fly by Brody Cheer to score run number 1. So if they continue to execute offensively, they might be able to get another run in here.
Mangini on first, Andrews on third. First pitch to Dylan Emmel. In the ground, ball 1. Walked up to Since You've Been Gone by Miss Kelly Clarkson. Well, Dylan Emmel has been gone since Tuesday. Last 4 games, last played against those Barons. That was pretty much the game of the year for the Saints as they came back from down 8-5 to win it 9-8. And this the 17th game of the year for Emmel.
I will say, of all the songs to be chosen by a coach and walk up, intending for your own personal embarrassment, Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson, I don't think is one of those songs. I think that song rocks.
I'd be walking up, bopping my bat on the ground to it. On a 1-1, Emmel lines it to right field, a base hit. It'll dunk down in front of Jones. He'll play it on the bounce. Mangini will cut the bag and head to third. Throw is cut off. RBI single, Dylan Emmel. Since You've Been Gone, we've missed you, Dylan Emmel, and he comes through here in the second. Saints take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, gets an elevated fastball and turns on it, dunks it right into right field. Those ones are a little scary as a hitter because most often when those balls get up above your hands, it's either going to result in a swing and a miss or a high pop out. This time, Emmel able to get his hands above the ball, level it out, line it into right field, get a base hit, get an RBI.
So the Saints, after falling to the Bombers 11 days ago, 10-4, Wyatt Thomas threw a complete game, have rebounded against San Diego nicely. 2 in the bank here in the second, and they're still threatening with runners at the corners. Mangini on third, Emmel on first after the RBI base hit. And here's Flores. Infield back, hoping for a double play. There goes Emmel. Flores ground ball right side. Dwyer will throw home as Mangini breaks late, and they got him. Delayed try to snag home there from Mangini, and Dwyer throws him out. Didn't touch first base, so Flores will reach as Emmel moves to second, but now 2 gone.
Heads up play there by Dwyer at first. Runner was in motion in Emmel, so he couldn't go to second base, try and turn the double play. He could have very easily gone to first, tag the base himself, get the easy out, but he decided to throw out Mangini at the plate. Very heads-up ball to save a run.
2 on, 2 out for Evan Ryder. 21-game hit streak in jeopardy. Can he extend the Saints' lead in the second? Strike 1 on the breaking ball from Mingo. We know Ryder, he loves to swing that bat. Only 1 walk on the year. Not going to swing at that one, though. A fastball spiked about 3 inches in front of home plate.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy who is going to, when he does swing the bat, which is pretty often, he does so at a pitch that he knows he can handle. He's not one to chase outside the zone, and it's helped propelled him to this 21-game hitting streak.
On Mingo's 1-1. Ryder lines it to left center field, a base hit. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Here comes Dylan Emmel, and it's 3-0 Saints as Braden Flores scoots to third.
Again, going that elevated fastball is Mingo, but handling it is the Saints hitter. 22-game the hit streak for Evan Ryder. Like you said, don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. So is Evan Ryder. Picks up an RBI with it and extends the Saints' lead.
3 in the bank, and runners at the corners for Wynn. Ryder takes off. Ball outside, no throw from the catcher, Halakits. And a pitch after extending his hit streak to 22. Evan Ryder steals second base, and the Saints now have 2 in scoring position for Brandon Wynn as they look to really put up a crooked number on Mingo and the Bombers.
Yeah, this would be a huge pickup here, getting a couple of RBIs with 2 outs, really applying the pressure.
1-0, crunch to right field. Jones not going to get there. It'll get by him. A base hit for Wynn. He'll take the wide turn at first and head towards second base. He's got a 2 RBI double. Ryder and Flores come in to score, and the Saints with a 5 spot here in the second have jumped all over Aaron Mingo.
Great at-bat there by Brandon Wynn, getting in a hitter's count and then punishing a fastball that he gets right over the heart of the plate. Hooks it down the line, sits fair past the reach of Jeremy Jones, gets onto second base, scores 2 more for the Saints. This is a big offensive inning for them, and they'd love to keep it going.
Look at how disappointing yesterday was, losing 6-2 to a team that was 0-19, and the Saints have picked themselves off the deck and put up 5 here in the second against San Diego. Strike 1 on Carson Panarisi.
Now just 1 batter away as well from batting around the entire order. Sean Asperger, who's now on deck, started this entire rally in the second inning with a leadoff double. He would come around to score the first run. Saints put on 4 more after that.
A little bit more on that game on Tuesday where Panarisi had that 2-run triple. He was in the midst of an 0-for-19 skid before he singled in the 7th and then had that triple to, in essence, save the Saints season in the 9th. On an 0-2 here, he watches one spike in the dirt, and Wynn taking off for third will get there just ahead of the tag from Hinojosa. Saints are running wild here in the second, and now Wynn at third. Two hits in that game Tuesday snapped a really lengthy skid for Panarisi. Saints hoping it gets him going. Lays off the 1-2 and the count is even.
This is partially what has led to such an offensive performance today is these Saints hitters have fallen behind in a couple counts, but when they do, they're able to stay alive, fight off some pitches, work their way back into counts. Panarisi now even with 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Checked his swing. Did he go? No appeal, and the count is full.
Now he's in a base hit, ball 4 opportunity to extend this inning. You know, he'd prefer that first option, get a base hit, another RBI with it to score Brandon Wynn. But for the Saints offense, you definitely take that ball 4 and get runners on the corners.
Mingo's payoff. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Hung on to by the catcher Halachitz, and that will end the inning. But the damage has most certainly been done. Saints put up a 5 spot in the bottom half of the second and lead the Bombers 5-0 to the third.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and the Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down to third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-0 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about
8-9-1 coming up in the third for San Diego. Capel, Davis, and Martin. And lost in the midst of that 5-run second for the Saints is the fact that Hudson Carvalho has been dealing so far 4 strikeouts in 7 hitters. And starts Capel off with another strike on the fastball.
That's been a huge reason why right there is getting ahead of these batters. The first pitch strike is so vitally important to pick up for a pitcher.
Capel in his 11th game, the .231 average. Only 1 at-bat against the Saints so far this season. That came about a month ago. On a 1-1, he pops it up. Andrews will give it a look, but it's back and out of play.
Wonder if that clank off the bleachers picked up in our audio mics.
I think it does from my re-listen/watches back to these games. The clank off the bleachers, the clang off the poles here on the netting behind home plate. The mics pick up a good chunk of it.
That was a pretty good bonk.
Two and two on Capel, looking to start something here for the Bombers as they're going to have to look to climb back from a 5-0 deficit. Fouled off by Capel. Count stays 2-2. Bombers are coming off a win yesterday against Orange County. They have played the Riptide. After the season's over, they will have played the Riptide, 7 times. And typically you'll see franchise teams in the CCL play 4 to 6 times, and the affiliates fill in the schedule in. But OC and San Diego, a 7-time they will see each other this season. Royce Davis, the DH in the 9-hole on deck for San Diego. Carvalho got to deal with Capel right here. Can he pick up his 5th strikeout?
Well, this has been a very disciplined at-bat from Capel. Gets in a 2-strike count, now full count after he sees some out of the zone with a couple of foul balls mixed in there, spoiling off those close pitches.
Capel ropes one to third. That's caught on a line by Asperger. Right on the button, but perfectly positioned was the Saints' third baseman, Sean Asperger, and Capel is the first out of the inning.
And we talked about this in yesterday's broadcast with the performance of, I believe, Brody Cheer for the Saints, where it was a couple of outs made, but really well-struck balls, and that one's there for Capel, that if that's a foot or two to the left or right of Asperger at third, it's a much harder play to make, and, you know, it's questionable whether he would make it if that's 2 feet to his left, as it was hit so hard. So I think you got to take that at bat for Capel. You can't be too upset about it. And for Carvalho on the mound, that's a gift picked up there.
Quickly, 0-2 on Royce Davis, the DH, who is playing in his 7th game of the season. Hasn't played in 8 days again. Last time against the Oaks on the 8th of July, but in here today as the designated hitter. That one is nowhere close. Spikes in the left-hand batter's box, and the left-handed batter on deck. Dylan Martin will go pick it up and toss it towards the third base dugout where the Saints are homed here at Jackie Robinson Field. Very exciting day here. Again, a benefit, a carnival benefit for the YMCA here today, and some star NFL quarterbacks showing their face. Fly to center field, hit well. Cheer going back. He's on the warning track to haul it in. A couple steps in front of the Arroyo Seco baseball sign in left center field. Cheer makes the play, and there's 2 out.
Yeah, and again, another well-struck ball resulting in an out for the San Diego Bombers. You can't be too upset with those couple of swings there from Capel and Davis. Loud outs, but for Carvalho, you absolutely take it. You get guys to put balls in play. You know, they're going to be on a more aggressive approach after 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. So they're going to be swinging the bats a little bit more. Carvalho letting his defense work.
Breaking ball inside, ball 1 on Dylan Martin, who grounded to third his first time up. Mentioned a lot of guys on the Bombers who are not playing particularly well. The team is hitting .229 collectively. They've got a roster that is very much patched together. Line drive, center field. That one will be caught on a slide by Brody Cheer in center. Back-to-back, really nice defensive plays in center for Brody Cheer. And a 1-2-3 third inning for Hudson Carvalho. To the home half, still 5-0 Arroyo Seco.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener.
Bottom third, 5, 6, 7 coming up for the Saints against a new pitcher. Riley, you were right. The Bombers going to their bullpen early today. Mingo out, Reese Bokanugan making his 5th appearance of the season in.
Yeah, all out of the pen with those 5 appearances. An 0-1 record with just 7 2/3 innings pitched. 5 strikeouts in those 7 2/3, but an ERA just below 10 with 9 and a couple digits from there. Starting things off against the guy who led off the huge second offensive inning for the Arroyo Seco Saints, where they put up a 5 spot. Asperger led off that inning with a leadoff double.
Came around to score on the sac fly from Cheer after he executed a double steal with Cam Andrews. Carved to left center field. On the run is Finelli into the gap in left center for out number 1. Bokanugan, a 3-pitch guy, 4-seam sinker slider that you'll see out of him. He goes heavily with the fastball, 58% of the time. Saints with a much-needed 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. Looking to rebound from a pretty crucial loss yesterday. Line towards right, but tailing foul. Slowly grounded towards short, but he hit it off his foot, and it's 0-2. Andrews, one of the 2 Saints that were hit by a pitch. In the bottom of the second, it was him, and then Owen Mangini got hit by a pitch on the first pitch of the at-bat. Those are 2 of the worst counts to get hit by. A 3-2 hit by pitch and a first pitch hit by pitch. On 0-2 here, Andrews lines one that is caught at second base by Capel. boy, the Saints fit like 3 line drives over there in Capel's direction, and he snagged each and every one of them.
Yeah, there's been a handful on both sides of loud outs. Couple so far here. Asperger, well hit, but more straight vertical in the air, hanging up a while for Finelli and left. This one more on a line going backside was Andrews, and it was just right at the defenders. On both sides of the ball tonight, we've seen a couple loud outs, and it's only a matter of time before they start finding some open grass and dropping.
2 outs for Brody Cheer, making his 6th start of the year, and fisting one over third into left, a base hit. 2-out knock for Brody Cheer. Came in as a defensive replacement in the 7th. The last time these two teams played, did Cheer. That was 11 days ago. Was his first action as a Saint. Now he gets his first hit of the year against the Bombers with a 2-out single in the 3rd.
Yeah, after a 5 spot in the 2nd, you'd like to keep the foot on the gas. It'd be really unfortunate to put up a 5 spot, 9 guys up in the 2nd inning, then go 3 up, 3 down in the 3rd. And preventing that is Brody Cheer. Now looking to spark a 2-out rally, keep things going is Mangini.
In the 8th hole is Mangini. First at bat against Bocanugan today. And a swing and a miss at the slider. Who was a late enterer into this lineup over at first base now today as Sean Asperger replaces what we thought was Jacob Freer at 3rd. Thirteenth game of the season for Mangini. Throw down from 2nd, just for the heck of it from Halachitz. Nearly trickles into center field, but Cheer well back to the bag at first base. Mangini still looking to get right for the Saints. The average at 186. He does have the 2 home runs, but not really what he's envisioned so far in the CCL. Can he have a good at-bat here? 1-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. And Cheer taking off for second base is irrelevant. Mangini goes down on strikes to end the inning. First K of the day for Bocanugan, but the Saints still lead at 5-0 as we head to the 4th. Saints lead at 5-0 as we head to the top of the 4th inning, and as we do, I will hand the play-by-play reins over to my broadcast partner, Riley Horn. Riley?
Thank you, Max. Riley Horn with Max Langer here on the Saints Streaming Network. 5-0 our score heading to the 4th inning in Pasadena. Visiting San Diego Bombers, looking to get something started against Hudson Carvalho. Just 1 hit through 3 innings thus far. And the heart of the order up for the Bombers, Ryan Jackson, Gianluca Finelli, and Jeremy Jones, the 2, 3, 4 spots of the order. Want to know the count to Ryan Jackson, one of 4 strikeout victims his first time up. The 1-0 pitch is on the ground, foul at third, 1-1. Jackson, not too much action so far this summer, but coming into tonight, 5 hits and good for a .294 average with an RBI to his name. Now looking to spark something up in a 5-run deficit. Breaking pitch upstairs. Back ahead now is Jackson.
This is a guy in Jackson who strikes out a lot. He came into this game with 6 Ks in just his first 4 games, and now 7 as Carvalho got him in the first.
Carvalho from the windup goes back to the off-speed pitch and it's fouled off, 2-2. Carvalho using a good amount of his pitches so far tonight, mixing things up, keeping hitters guessing, gets into these 2-strike counts. He very often gets ahead in them, this time even in 1. And it's mainly been the fastball tonight that's been his best pitch working against these Bombers. The 2-2 goes to the breaker and gets the swing and miss for strike 3. Takes a whole lot off of it, goes to the 12-6 and picks up strikeout number 5 so far through 3 1/3 innings.
Yeah, Carvalho is really mixing his pitches well, mixing them up, the type, the speed, where they are, in, out, up, down, and it's worked out for him in terms of the 5 Ks.
This breaker gets away from him and gets Finelli on the shoulder for a 1-out hit by pitch. Runner on first base now for the Bombers and the 4-hole hitter up, but now Carvalho going to look to induce that double play, get a ball on the ground, and get out of this inning. Has 5 strikeouts so far on the night, but he's definitely had his fair share of letting his defense work. A couple well-hit balls that his defense has had his back on, and turning those barrels into outs as he goes back to the breaker for the 3rd time in a row, and this one's high and away to Jeremy Jones. Cam Andrews going to take some time, go out, have a quick chit-chat with Hudson Carvalho. Back in the lineup tonight is Cam Andrews after he's had the past couple of nights off. Thursday and Friday, the first 2 games of this 4-game and 4-day stretch for Arroyo Seco was Nick Nishiwa behind the dish. Now he getting the night off after a couple days on. Camden Andrews back behind the dish.
And we are going to keep you updated tonight as well on the score of the Oaks-Barons game. That one in Compton, and right now, bottom of the 2nd, no score between Conejo and Compton.
Swung on and lifted into left. Down the line in foul territory. A lot of room to run for Panarisi, who hauls it down. 2 gone after a foul territory grab by Carson Panarisi.
You know, I think we like to talk a lot about Panarisi defensively this year in regards to the walk-off throw he had about a month ago, but he's really been really solid out there just on the routine plays. This one a little bit less routine, but he's shaded over there more towards left center field with a lefty up, a long run to get there, and he does, so props to him.
So now Nick Halukitz, who takes his time coming out to the box. Wielding that bright scarlet, reddish, pinkish bat. We've seen a couple Saints hitters use a bat of similar color schemes. But for tonight, it's Halukitz, who's one of now 5 strikeout victims. Or I guess 4, with Ryan Jackson having 2 of 5 from Carvalho. First pitch fastball upstairs. We've mentioned before, bears repeating the fact that Carvalho been using his pitches really well tonight, and it seems like he's favoring that top portion of the zone. As the runner goes, he goes to an elevated breaking ball. It's on the ground on 1 hop to Immel, who goes across to first in time for the putout. Hit by pitch, stranded on the base paths. The Bombers still scoreless through 4 here in Pasadena. Bottom of the fourth here at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. 5-0 our score with Dylan Immel, Braden Flores, and Evan Ryder. The 3-2 up against a new arm for the Bombers in Evan Chan.
Yeah, Evan Chan, right now he is making his 5th appearance onto the year for the Bombers. Hasn't pitched in a while. June 30th against the Barons his last time out, so hasn't pitched in about 20 days. And Saints looking to take advantage of him here. Give up 3 runs in an inning and 2/3 his last time out.
First pitch upstairs on Immel, who had an RBI single back in the 2nd inning and would come around to score a run himself. Inside. And Immel, a guy who's increased that average so far with a 1-for-1 performance, was at 291 coming into tonight with 4 RBIs, a couple extra base hits as well. No extra base hits tonight, but 1 single. Again, that came back in the 2nd inning. 2-1 now the count. Jan delivers, and it's upstairs. Immel, a utility infielder for the Arroyo Seco Saints, spending most of his time, the majority of his action this summer at second base. That's where we find him tonight. Made a couple good plays so far in the field tonight, and he's done well offensively, 1-for-1, as he flies this one on the left side. Hinojosa chasing it in foul territory and gets the grab for out number 1. One down in the 4th, and the last of the 4th, that is, as the lineup card flips up to Braden Flores. So far tonight has been on base twice, but does not have a hit. Reached on an error to lead things off for the Saints, and then was on base with a fielder's choice. Fouls off the first one. A 3-2 putout on that fielder's choice back in the 2nd inning. Smart play from Gannon Dwyer to, on a hit and run with runners on the corners, come to the plate and get the out there as opposed to trying to turn to or tagging first base. Got the lead out, saved a run as well. Saints put up 5 that half inning. Flores back to the first baseman, but it gets by him this time and into the 3-4 hole. On with a 1-out single is Braden Flores.
Yeah, good job by Braden. Second hit of the day, ground ball, hit sharply right side to get through. That was a weird play you were mentioning with Flores when he was up last time, where Owen Mangina kind of broke late at third, and then they got him at the plate. You don't see that. Oftentimes you'll see a delayed steal, but once the ball is on the ground at first baseman, you don't oftentimes see the runner at second or third then commit, unless it's a throw over to first. The runner on second will sometimes take off for third. But that was a weird play, but Saints got 5 runs that inning, so they're pretty happy.
First pitch swinging is Evan Ryder with a runner on first. Coming up to the best of both worlds. Song from Hannah Montana, classic Disney Channel. And I would imagine that's not his doing. That's more of a head coach Aaron Milam decision.
Hey, don't disrespect the Disney Channel. I got some
no.
great memories with
Not at all. Not at all. You weren't here last night. It was myself joined alongside Luke Saruma, who's normally our broadcast producer, but he got the action on the mic last night. We saw a couple, I believe it was at least 2 High School Musical songs as walk-up songs, which was fun.
High School Musical, good. I think my favorite Disney Channel show growing up was Jessie.
That's a fun one.
Feels like a party every day.
Yes, it does. Hey, Jesse. Runner goes. 0-2 is upstairs. Throw down to second. Sails to center. Flores going to stay there, however. Ryan Jackson fielding it out to the right of dead center field. And there's a runner in scoring position for Evan Ryder.
I really like what the Saints have been doing more recently, which is running a lot. You've seen this game. It feels like they're running more than they typically do. And for a while there, when they were running a lot, they were getting thrown out. But these are situations where in the time of the game, it makes a lot of sense to run because there's not really a high risk to getting thrown out, and it's really benefiting them.
Looking to add on some more insurance runs in the early goings. 1-2, swung on and missed. Down on strikes is Evan Ryder. 2 gone in the bottom of the 4th. Not out of the woods just yet is Evan Chan. Still got a runner in scoring position with Brandon Wynn stepping up, who his last time up had a 2 RBI double. Chan looking to prevent Wynn from having similar success. 2 gone in the last of the 4th as he delivers the first pitch, and it's downstairs. Third arm used for the Bombers today is Evan Chan. Aaron Mingo starting things up, giving up that 5 spot in the 2nd inning. His day was done after that. Then it went to Reese Bokanugan, who went 1 inning, giving up just 1 hit, no runs across. Now Evan Chan, whose 1-0 pitch is high and away. Now Win way ahead 2-0. Went upstairs, 3 balls and no strikes to Brandon Wynn. Now likely going to be that take sign on, despite a very viable bat in Wynn. The designated hitter tonight in the 3-hole. Little bit of a later arrival to the summer for the Saints, and he's made an impact since he's been here. 3-0 catches him off the foot. That's not the spot you want to be in a 3-0 count. Looks like he's all right, though. He'll jog his way down to first base.
Yeah, 3rd hit by pitch here tonight. I'm always in favor of some retaliation, but I don't think the Saints are going to opt to do it, especially because none of these have been intentional. But 3 hit by pitches already in the 4th inning is a good chunk.
Up steps Carson Panarisi, who is wielding that bright scarlet bat that we were talking about earlier. Someone on the Bombers wielding a similar color schemed bat, and now I can't remember who that batter was.
Me neither.
It turned out that when he was up on the Bombers side, I couldn't remember who the Saints batter was that had that bat, and now I can't remember who the Bombers batter was now that I know it's Panarisi. First pitch in there for strike 1. Speaking of scarlet, bright red gloves sported by Evan Chan on the mound. Really strong uniform for the San Diego Bombers here tonight. Red, white, and blue, America themed. Going all blue with some red and white highlights. This one's cued towards second base. Tough play for Capel, but he makes it on the run for out number 3. Saints scoreless here in the 4th inning. 5-0 heading to the 5th inning. To the 5th inning we go. Arroyo Seco Saints up by 5 over the San Diego Bombers. Fourth time these two teams are meeting, and I believe it's the fourth and final time that these two teams are meeting.
It is indeed. 2
wins and 1 loss for the Arroyo Seco Saints this summer against the Bombers, as a first pitch strike is recorded on Osias Hinojosa as he swung and missed on the slider. Still Hudson Carvalho on the mound for Arroyo Seco. He's been dealing tonight. Goes again to the off speed. This time, Hinojosa laying off of it. 4 innings with just 1 hit given up. No runs across. No walks, but 1 hit by pitch for Carvalho so far tonight and 5 strikeouts. On the ground, foul towards the Saints dugout. Nice play made by, don't know who that is, but somebody popped out of the dugout, made a barehanded grab.
Yeah, I mean, Carvalho's been great. You're talking about 4 innings. The 1 inning he didn't really pitch well. He still put up a 1-2-3 inning because Dylan Immel and Brody Cheer made some really great plays at second and center, respectively.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Carvalho began this summer with the Saints as a guy used out of the pen. He was a reliever and, didn't have necessarily the best of success, had some outings here and there that were better than others, but since, making the transition to this starting role, now making his second start tonight, he's been a lot better for this Arroyo Seco Saints pitching staff. Again, we've mentioned it earlier, but his first start back on July 11th, 5 innings, just 1 hit and 2 earned runs against the ever-so-strong Oaks as he picks up strikeout number 6, getting Hinojosa swinging.
And a lot of these strikeouts, it feels like, have been with the breaking ball. A big 12-6 curve that he just lays in there. And the hitters just can't seem to catch up to it. A really good pitch right here from Carvalho.
Carvalho been nails so far tonight, looking to keep it going. Again, as a starting pitcher now for the Saints, he's done a lot better as this one's crushed to right. Back on the track, reaching out and making a grab is Evan Ryder. All the way up against the wall and makes the grab. Just a few feet shy of a home run was Gannon Dwyer, but not if Evan Ryder has something to say about it.
Yeah, that ball was crushed. I thought clearly off the bat, I don't know about you, but I thought that one was going out the second he made contact. Just the sound off of the lumber, but a deep right field today apparently out there, and Ryder runs it down. Good play by the Saints right fielder.
In the air to right center now. Cheer and Ryder making their way over. It'll be Ryder who reaches up and makes the grab. Back-to-back flyouts to right to complete the 3-up, 3-down inning in the top of the 5th. We'll head to the home half here on the Saints streaming network.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the games outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound. Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
We're halfway home in Pasadena, 5-0 to the bottom of the 5th we go with a new arm on the mound, Anthony Finelli for the San Diego Bombers.
Yeah, Anthony Finelli into the game, most likely a relative of some sort in left field in Gianluca Finelli, but for Anthony Finelli on the mound, making his 3rd appearance on the year, the ERA not too good, 20.25 earned runs allowed in 1 innings pitched for Finelli, and Saints looking to take advantage and tack on to what's already a 5-0 lead.
First pitch to Sean Asperger's outside. And you mentioned Gianluca Finelli out and left. We would have to assume these two are brothers from the same hometown, same last name. It'd be really coincidental if they weren't. We do not have confirmation of that, but we are heavily, heavily assuming and implying that they are. But pretty cool to be on the same field as your brother if that is the case.
You never know, though. Max Muncy of the Dodgers, Max Muncy of the A's, born on the same day, 12 years apart, not brothers.
True. You seen that thing also about the two pitchers who are both, I can't remember their names right now. They have a goofy last name. It's a funky spelling and pronunciation, but they're both like red-headed, wearing glasses, born on the same day, red-headed, left-handed pitchers. As this one's popped into foul territory and out of play right in front of the booth. But they're not related, and they have the exact same name.
I have not seen that. Are they in the major leagues?
They were for a while. I don't think either of them were necessarily the biggest names of pitchers. I'm going to look this up real fast, see if I can find something on it.
All right.
Bang, found it. Brady Feigl.
No idea. Wow.
That one sailed all the way to the backstop out of the hand of Anthony Finelli. So full count now to Sean Asperger. Brady Feigl, apparently now one of the two Brady Feigls is pitching in the professional Mexican baseball league, but used to be in the MLB.
Wow. No, I got to get my ball knowledge up.
Payoff pitch, low and away. Leadoff walk to Sean Asperger, but the Feigls, yeah, there's two Brady Feigls. They look exactly the same. Obviously, we can't show the viewers at home, but Max, that's two separate people right there. Both wear glasses, red head, beards, left-handed pitchers.
Well, hold on. The guy on the left kind of looks like Max Muncy.
He does look a little bit like Max Muncy, which is ironic enough. So it's just a crazy story.
That's
you
ridiculous.
Can look up the Brady Feigl.
Man, I guess that many people in the world, though, bound to happen at some point, though, huh?
You know, it's a lot of people in this world, man. There are two indeed unrelated professional baseball players named Brady Feigl. The two men share the exact same first and last name. Both stand at 6'4", red hair, short, bushy ginger beards, and wear thick glasses, according to the AI overview answer of Are There Really Two Brady Feigls Google search. The more you know. The more you know. 2-0 the count to Cam Andrews. Haluchis and Finelli break up their mound meeting. We'll resume action. 2 balls and no strike to Camden Andrews with a runner on first base in Asperger after he reached the leadoff walk. 4th arm already used by the Bombers in just the 5th inning. Been one guy per inning since that 3rd. Aaron Mingo, the starter, went 2. Reese Bokanugan going 1 back in the 3rd. Evan Chan for the 4th. Now Finelli, who we would assume for at least this whole 5th.
And this is the trade-off when you bring in new relievers, is that you keep guys fresh, but also you don't know if they're going to have it, and so far has not been able to find the strike zone.
4-pitch walk now to Cam Andrews after a full count walk to Sean Asperger. 2 guys aboard with nobody out for Arroyo Seco. Now mound meeting going to be called by the Bombers coaching staff. So we'll get an extended jam session to Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen, the walk-up song tonight for Brody Cheer.
I think this was, for maybe ages 5 to 10, my favorite song in the world. It's dropped off a little point, but at this point, like, I would get in the car on the radio, I'd be like, can we play Call Me Maybe, please?
It's one of those songs where, like, in elementary school, it was like, if you like this song, like, it was like a bad thing, you know, but it's a great song.
Yeah.
It's like some of those One Direction songs where it's like you listen to One Direction like you're considered quote-unquote weird, but, like, those are great songs.
Yeah, 100%. And nowadays, if you hear this song at, like, a bar or something, not that I've ever been to one since I'm underage, it's, like, gets everybody going, you know what I mean?
First pitch, high and away to Brody Cheer. You know, there's a couple, like, even Kelly Clarkson songs, like Katy Perry songs, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's got a mixed reputation nowadays. I still think some of her songs are incredible.
Was that a pun right there?
What'd I say?
You said mixed reputation. Taylor Swift has an album called Reputation.
No pun intended.
We've both made Taylor Swift puns on the broadcast line. Who could have seen that coming?
Yes, we have. The 22, I don't know about you, I'm feeling 22-game hit streak of Evan Ryder has continued tonight. But for now, it's Brody Cheer in a 2-1 count against Anthony Finelli, who has walked the first two batters he's seen and has fallen behind to Brody Cheer. Finds the zone with the fastball there. Cheer now likely to be swinging, but not on that pitch as it gets all the way to the backstop. Both runners moving up 90 feet, 2 in scoring position with nobody out.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for the Saints right here. You got a 5-0 lead, pretty sizable. Tack on 3 or 4 more and just put this game in the fridge.
Good opportunity for Cheer to do so. 3-1 the count. A lot of balls offered by Finelli, so we'll see if the take sign continues to remain on. It will not. He goes hacking and pops it up on the right side of the infield. Foul territory, Dwyer giving chase. Halukitz as well, and it falls in between them.
Ooh, disaster right there for the Bombers. Halukitz, Dwyer over into foul ground, and you got it, I'll take it, I got it, you take it. Goes there, falls in between them, and second life for Brody Cheer.
You know what always happens after those defensive miscues? The payoff is high and away, ball 4. 3 straight walks from Anthony Finelli loads the bases for the Saints. Now the Bombers are going to call another mound meeting, and they are going to go to the pen. Anthony Finelli enters here in the 5th inning and goes 3 batters faced, 3 base on balls allowed. So his day will be done. The Bombers go to the pen. We'll be back. Stay with us here on the Saints Streaming Network. bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the 5th for Arroyo Seco. And forced into the bullpen are the San Diego Bombers. They're going to go to the slinger, Haris Balachandran.
Yeah, Balachandran making his 4th appearance on the year. 6 innings so far. He's got an ERA of 7.5. Pitched yesterday at Orange County, so the Bombers are deep into their pen. You don't see a guy go twice in a row a lot in the CCL. And the Saints with a chance to really tax the Bombers here in this inning.
Owen Mangini looking to take advantage of some free passes, takes strike 1. It was Anthony Finelli who started this half inning for the Bombers, came in, gave up 3 straight walks, and then was forced out of the game. So as of right now, he has not recorded an out, but given up 3 walks. The book is not yet closed on him. This one crushed to left, back at the wall. It's off the wall. 1 run scores. Right behind him, Andrews. Cheer on his way home. He will score as well. A bases clearing double for Owen Mangini.
Well, how about you attack the new arm from the bullpen early? That submarine pitch just floats there on the paint, and no big deal for Owen Mangini. Crushes it to left field. And Finelli, Gianluca, that is, no chance at it in left field. Saints really take advantage.
Down to Dylan Immel, still nobody out with a runner on second base. 3 runs across here in the bottom of the 5th as the Saints now lead 8-0. On the ground to the second baseman, Capel, who makes the play at first, but up to third base goes Mangini. Now another run 90 feet away with 1 gone. Back up to the top of the Saints order as well, and Braden Flores. So now the book officially closed on Anthony Finelli. 3 walks, 3 earned runs, no outs recorded here in this one against the Saints tonight. First pitch up and in to Braden Flores. He's been on base all 3 times he's been up tonight. An error, a fielder's choice, and a single. 1-0 on the ground, back to the second baseman, Capel. This will bring a run home as Capel makes the play. But an RBI for Braden Flores, 9-0 Saints.
Yeah, good job right there from the Saints. Got a guy on second base, 2 straight ground balls to the right side. Just keep tacking on. No lead is safe in the CCL, but each run you can get here to push your foot on the throat of the Bombers more and more is a benefit.
9-0 through the halfway point of this one in Pasadena. Back to Capel. And after 3 straight walks to start the half inning, the Saints go 3 straight 4-3 putouts to end it. 9-0 Saints going to the 6th inning. 9-run advantage for the Arroyo Seco Saints heading to the 6th inning. Defensively, the Saints have been sharp tonight on the mound. The sharpest guy for the Saints so far with Hudson Carvalho through 5 innings with no runs and just 1 hit allowed. He continues his hot streak, gets a first pitch strike on Royce Davis, the leadoff man, or rather leading off this inning in the 9-hole of the Bombers offense, the designated hitter before it kicks back up to the top in Dylan Martin and Ryan Jackson. Check swing, appeal to first, went around, says our first base umpire, and it's 0-2. Davis, in his second plate appearance of the night, flew out his first time up. 0-2. Great 0-2 pitch there. Just missing the low outside corner, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Davis. Sun beginning to go down. Shadows emerging on Jackie Robinson Field. As the 1-2 is a little bit low and away again. Living in that low away location is Carvalho so far this at-bat.
And it's really good for the Saints that they're getting this length from Carvalho because, as we mentioned, Oaks tomorrow is not going to be easy. The Saints play the Oaks a lot this season, and all of them have been really close, back and forth, 9th inning comeback, 9th inning blowed lead type game. So the more relievers you can have available fresh and the more buttons that Aaron Milam has the ability to push is only a good thing.
The 2-2. Elevated breaking ball. Can't quite break down enough, and the count goes full. Payoff pitch. Tapped foul. We'll do it again. Nobody on, nobody out, and a full count to Royce Davis. Carvalho delivers, and it hits Davis on the elbow guard. He'll jog his way down to first with a hit by pitch. Pitching coach for the Saints, Matt Stone, going to emerge from the dugout. Have a conversation with Carvalho, who's been extremely sharp tonight. So far, 5 innings pitched. Again, just 1 hit allowed. No runs across, no walks, but now 2 hit batters. 6 strikeouts, however. So he's still, been pretty dominant on the stat line tonight. Just has to convert this leadoff hit by pitch into an out.
Yeah, hopefully everything's okay with him because not often you see there. Before that hit by pitch, Carvalho had retired 12 of the last 13, and looks like the trainer's coming out from this is not good at all.
Yeah, athletic trainer coming out to talk to Carvalho, and it seems like his mind is made up that he's going to be heading back to the dugout. So it looks like the Saints are going to be going to the bullpen here and relieve Hudson Carvalho of a very strong start here tonight. We'll await the new reliever right after this quick break. Hudson Carvalho exits the game with some arm discomfort. We hope he's going to be okay. He went 5+ innings, gave up just 1 hit and no runs. As of right now, we're still responsible for that runner over on first base and Royce Davis. Top of the order now, Dylan Martin, Ryan Jackson, Gianluca Finelli against the new reliever, Zach Bender.
It's been a while for Mr. Zach. Last time out, the 26th of June on the mound at Slow. Went 2 scoreless innings, looking to build off on it here with a 9-0 lead.
0 for 2 days so far for the leadoff man of the Bombers, Dylan Martin. Ground out and a line out as well. Looking to start something for San Diego. Try and get them up on the board, trailing 9. 1-0 the count. Bender missing high and in. 2-0.
Yeah, I gotta hope Hudson Carvalho is okay. Such a scary injury when you see a pitcher taken out like that with no really warning signs whatsoever. He was cruising, and really hope that he is all okay, especially given how well he pitched.
Big swing and a miss. 2-0 green light on. Carvalho now with back-to-back 5-inning starts, really strong performances, giving up just 2 combined hits, 1 per start, and 2 combined earned runs through 10 innings. Started this season in the bullpen as a reliever, didn't have necessarily great success, but since transitioning to that starting pitcher role, he has turned things around and been rock solid. Giving Joe O'Regan a run for his money as the ace so far for this Saints roster. 5-pitch walk to Dylan Martin. There's 2 aboard via the free pass this half inning. Nine-run lead, so you got some runs to work with, but at this stage of the game, just got to find that strike zone, throw it right down the middle, and get these hitters to get themselves out. They're still 2 grand slams away from getting within 1 run, so you definitely have some room to spare. 2 on, nobody out here in the first half of the 6th inning. First pitch strike from Zach Bender. Ryan Jackson falls behind. And I'm sure without that arm discomfort that made Carvalho exit this game, Carvalho would have been licking his chops facing Ryan Jackson in this situation as he struck him out his first 2 times up. 2 Ks on the night for the 2-hole hitter for the Bombers. 1-1 now the count.
Let's give you the pitch mix, that is, for Mr. Zach. Sinker, cutter, splitter, and the slider. 64% of the time, though, going with the sink.
That one missing just a little bit outside. Close pitch there, but good take by Ryan Jackson. 2 balls, 1 strike.
You know what that sounded like when you said that?
I realized it
just a bit outside.
That was not the correct situation to be using that.
Just a bit outside.
That one, once again, barely outside. Bob Uecker, what a legend.
What movie was that in that he said that? Remember?
That was in Major League.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, and that one used very sarcastically for a pitch that went all the way to the backstop. It was that far outside. Bender's been near that outer edge, but can't quite find it. That one's down below the knees. Second walk in a row to load the bases for the Bombers.
Yeah, not good. Not what you want to do when you come into the game. If you're Bender, 9-0 lead, rather give up home runs than walks, because walks are what could start a big inning, whereas the home runs just kind of get him out of the way. And I'm going to have a meeting on the mound.
Yeah, you have such a big lead. You know, you obviously feel very comfortable coming into this game. And for the opposing offense, you know, you still have to get some offense going, and by any means necessary. So they're going to stay patient. They're going to take their walks. They're going to get on base because they're going to need a lot of base runners. And that's exactly why, as a pitcher, coming in with a 9-run lead, you just got to fill up that zone. Try and get the hitters to earn it. You don't want to gift them some free passes, gift them a couple runs. You got to make them earn it themselves.
Yeah, throw the ball right down the middle. If he hits a grand slam, whatever, you're up 9-0. I'd honestly rather see a grand slam than another walk because walk screams bigger trouble. Grand slam, clear off the bases, and it's a fresh start for Zach. So throw the ball over the middle of the plate and let your defense behind you try to make some plays.
That's another thing to consider as well is the defense. You know, when a pitcher starts walking guys, those innings get extended. That defense, you know, starts to lose their, you know, spirit and their competitiveness. You know, they start to stand out there. They're on their feet out there for a while, and that's when mistakes could start to happen defensively. You know, those quick innings from a pitcher keep those infielders, you know, nice and fresh and energized and out there ready, alert. But as these innings extend, those infielders can start to lose a little bit of that focus, and that's when things can really start to spiral.
I want to give you an update on the score from Compton. Top of the 5th inning, 0-0. Still scoreless between the Oaks and the Barons. Again, reminder, Saints-Barons here on the 26th. That's the final game of the regular season.
Again, for anyone who's not familiar, why that's relevant is the Saints are 3.5 games behind the MLB Academy Barons to earn their last spot, or earn the last spot in the CCL South playoffs. 2-1, swung on, tied him up low and in.
Good sinker.
2-2 on Gianluca Finelli. Single and a hit by pitch. With the bases loaded and nobody out. Bender set, just below the belt. Kick steals. Called, strike 3. Went to the sinker on the low outside corner and picks up the strikeout.
Yeah, big out right there. Maybe got a little bit of a call from the home plate umpire, but he won't care. He'll take it every single time, and a huge first out. Now, how about you roll up a double play, get out of this unscathed? That'd be great.
And with a sinker pitcher, that's exactly what he's going to be looking to do. Jeremy Jones, the 4-hole hitter, now digging in, takes a called strike 1. And Jones, definitely the guy to have up in this situation for the Bombers. Leads the team in RBIs with 10 on the summer so far. Low and away, ball 1. If there's any time to live low in the zone, it'd be right now. Try and get a ball on the ground. Deuce a double play, escape the jam. With a guy like Bender, big sinker guy on the mound, he lives naturally low in the zone. 1-1. Called strike 2. Both sides of the ball, the right guy in the right situation. Zach Bender and Jeremy Jones. Bases loaded with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The pitch. Check swing, but did not go around. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I think it's really good news that Zach Bender has found the strike zone. He's being able to get a lot more chase and command these pitches a lot better. Here's some more good news. Tyson Reese RBI single, and the Oaks lead the Barons 1-0 in Compton, top of the 5th inning.
Called strike 3. Back to that corner goes Bender, and back-to-back backwards Ks.
Could he possibly pull the bases loaded, nobody out, and get out of the inning unscathed? We actually saw this in the major leagues yesterday. 3-3 Padres and the Royals. Royals had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th with nobody out, and Mason Miller struck out the next 3 hitters to get it to extra innings. Zach Bender channeling his inner reaper right here.
Here's Nick Haluchitz. Strikeout and a ground out today. First pitch, up and in near the hands. We have our confirmation that is Haluchitz who's got that bright scarlet bat. Haluchitz and Panarisi for the Saints, sporting similar colored bats. 1-0. Right down Broadway for strike 1. It's what you want to see from Bender, filling up that zone. Put it right down Main Street, see if they can walk it. 1-1. Called strike 2. Bender starting to find a little bit of a groove here with 2 gone and the bases loaded. Bender set. The 1-2. On the ground to Immel at second, and he puts it away. Bases loaded, jam escaped. Back-to-back strikeouts and a 4-3 put out to keep the Bombers scoreless. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Brandon Wynn, Carson Panarisi, and Sean Asperger here in the bottom of the 6th with a 9-run advantage after a huge half inning just a couple pitches ago by Zach Bender on the mound for the Arroyo Seco Saints, getting out of a bases-loaded, no-out jam to keep the Bombers scoreless.
Yeah, that was excellent work from Zach right there. Walks the first 2 hitters, never what you want to see as a reliever, but again, still plenty of time to get out of it. And strikeout, ground out, a perfect recipe for success.
2-0 the count on Brandon Wynn. 2 RBI double back in the 2nd inning. So he takes a strike out of the hand of the sidearm slinging Harish Balachandran. Came in last half inning. As this one's driven into right center field. Jackson giving chase, reaches up, and it gets past him all the way to the wall. Brandon Wynn on his way to second base. He's in there standing up with his 2nd double of the day.
.103 off the bat by Brandon Wynn. He just crunches balls. Really, really good hitter. And we mentioned earlier that he's just been a real spark to the Saints offense when they needed it. But love how he's stayed in the lineup. He's great defensively in center field. So is Brody Cheer, who we saw make some excellent plays in the 3rd. And the Saints center field situation to begin the year, maybe not providing the most production, but these 2 guys certainly have stepped it up.
Now the 3rd inning for the Arroyo Seco Saints offense that they've had a leadoff man on second. Back in the 1st, they couldn't convert it. Then in the 2nd, they converted it and more. A 5-spot in that 2nd frame with a 4-spot just an inning ago in the bottom of the 5th. Now in the bottom of the 6th with another leadoff man in scoring position and a 1-1 count to Panarisi. Up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Having to hold up for half a second was Wynn, so he'll stay at third base and runners on the corners with nobody out.
That's a great sign from Carson Panarisi, 0 for 3. Love to see him get going a little bit offensively down here in this 4-hole. And, we talked about the 0 for 19 skid, how he broke out of it in a huge way on Tuesday. The biggest thing for Carson, just keep hitting the ball solidly, line drives off the bat, not trying to do too much, and a good one right there.
First pitch inside to Asperger. 2 runs scored so far for him tonight. 9 total for the Arroyo Seco Saints offense, which is a great sign, being just over halfway through this one. 9 runs on the board after a tough offensive performance last night. This one hit deep to right center field. Going, and gone! Sean Asperger with a 3-run home run. Saints ahead by 12.
Mr. Sean, how do you do? 3rd home run of the season, and this one was absolutely crushed. You see the side armor, submarine balacondron right there, serves that one up. Meatball marinara on a platter for Mr. Sean. And how about the Saints? Now a very comfortable 12-0 lead.
Into the double digits. 12-0 with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. As to keep things going is Cam Andrews. Takes strike 1. Andrews still hitless, but been on base twice and scored both times. A hit by a pitch and a walk. The 0-1 from Balacondron is in the air to center field. Jackson drifting over and makes the grab for out number 1.
Do you think if Brody Cheer got on first base and then tried to steal second base and then Nick Halachitz threw him out, he would say, "Brody Cheer, where you think you going, baby?"
Because of the song?
Yeah, because of the song, man.
I get it. I don't think he would say that.
If I was the catcher, I would say that.
Down by 12? I don't know about that. But
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yeah. 5-4 game,
Big
2 outs
fun.
in the 9th.
That would be the situation.
Electric.
To do it. That would be cool. 0-1 to Brody Cheer. As he hits a ground ball up the middle into center field for a base hit. 1 out worm burner to keep the inning going.
Every single man for the Saints, with that single from Panarisi now as well, has gotten on base this game. So really great sign.
First pitch outside to Mangini, who has been on base twice, most notably with a bases-clearing double an inning ago to extend the Saints' lead up to 8. They're now up by 12. Mangini would come around to score as well after reaching second base with nobody out. One ball, one strike pitch is outside as Balacondron takes a spill on the mound. But he's back up. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mangini a 1 for 2 day so far. Hit by the pitch his first time up, then was thrown out trying to score as the first baseman for the Bombers, Gannon Dwyer, made a heads-up play with runners on the corners with just 1 out. Instead of trying to turn the double play, instead of going the easy way to the bag, he went home, saved a run, and prevented this from being a 13-0 game as opposed to 12-0. So I guess at the end of the day, it's not too big of a difference, but still a heads-up defensive play. 2-2 pitch. On the ground to the right side, diving stop by Hinojosa. Long throw, not in time, and it skips past Dwyer. Into no man's land, foul territory. Up to third base goes Brody Cheer, and into second base is Owen Mangini, with likely what will be an infield single extending on the air.
Yeah, that was a pretty ill-advised throw from Hinojosa right there. No chance to get Immel at first base, or Mangini at first base, rather, and now scooting up to second on the play, but can't really blame him. Your team's down 12-0. Might as well try to make a highlight reel play and pick up the mojo a little bit, but doesn't work out for San Diego.
And that is the official scoring, an Owen Mangini single who advanced up to second base on the error. Throwing error by the third baseman, Hinojosa. Made a highlight reel stop, just could not complete the throw. And, I mean, that's such a difficult play to go all the way across the diamond after being fully horizontal, getting your way back to your feet, throwing all the way across the diamond, you know, around a 125, 130-foot throw is not an easy play to make. Hinojosa tried it, and it didn't work out in his favor, as this one's on the ground to the second baseman, Capel, who goes to first base in time for the out. But another run across for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Dylan Immel with an RBI.
Yeah, it's the second inning in a row as well that Dylan Immel has hit a ground ball to second base to score a run. So doing his job to the most down there in the 9-hole. And now the Saints with, I don't know why it's called this, but I'll say it anyway, a baker's dozen.
Back up to the top of the order in Braden Flores with a runner on third base. First pitch just missing. Let's find out, shall we? Baker's dozen. And according to the AI overview of this quick Baker's dozen Google search, the concept originated in medieval England, where strict laws tied the price of bread to the weight of the wheat used. To avoid hefty fines or flogging for selling underweight loaves, bakers would throw in an extra one as insurance.
Ah, I see.
I'm going to be honest, that still doesn't necessarily clarify it too much to me, but I understand the principle. I don't know.
I think because the 12 of whatever the baker threw in were tied to weight, and they weren't necessarily big pastries. They throw in an extra one to make up for the small ones that they get.
So the bakers get more money because it costs, or because it's heavier, so it costs more.
There you go.
3-1 on the outer edge. Count goes full. Owen Mangini on third base after singling.
Saints could get a football score here. They get one more run in.
Payoff pitch. In the air to shallow left. Coming in on it, Finelli. He lays out and makes the grab. Damage has been done, however. Another 4 spot. Back-to-back 4-run innings for the Arroyo Seco Saints. They lead by 13. Where Max Langer will retake over your play-by-play call.
Top of the 7th inning, Saints up 13-0, and it will be the 6, 7, 8 in the San Diego lineup. Hinojosa, Dwyer, and Capel against Zach Bender, who, after wiggling out of that bases-loaded, nobody-out jam, is back out there for the 7th.
Yeah, and for Bender, we talked about this last half inning, but it's going to be all about filling up the zone. He came out last half inning with a 13-run lead and now, or excuse me, a 9-run lead, now has a 13-run lead, which advances that score up to, it will now take 3 grand slams to even get within 1 for the Bombers. So you just got to fill the zone, throw strikes, get these guys to get themselves out.
Chopped foul off towards the Saints dugout, and it's 1-1 on Hinojosa, who is 0 for 2. He's struck out both times. Not his best day. 2 Ks at the plate and a throwing error in the field, although the one that won't appear in the box score is that it was a really sensational play for him just to even get to that ball. 2-1 as Bender misses inside with the fastball. If you're just joining us, you've missed a lot so far. Saints with 13 runs in 6 offensive half innings. Tell you after the 2-1 from Bender, right down Santa Monica Boulevard. And it's 2-2. Saints got 5 in the bottom half of the second. The highlights, Evan Reiter RBI single to extend his hitting streak to 22 games and a 2-run double off the bat of Brody Cheer. Saints got 4 more in the bottom half of the 5th. That was a 3-run bases clearing double from Owen Mangini. And there's a strikeout. Bender to Hinojosa. 3rd time today that Hinojosa has gone down on strikes, and he's the first out in the 7th.
Yeah, and exactly what Bender needs to do right now is just fill the zone, throw strikes, and these hitters are going to find a way to get themselves out. If not add on a couple more runs, they're going to get outs eventually.
Gannon Dwyer takes strike 1. Saints had a 9-0 lead. Then in the bottom half of the 6th, tacked on 4 more. The highlight, a 3-run Tankaroonie from Mr. Sean Asperger, and they would add 1 more. Lead at 13-0. That's where we stand right now. Ball and a strike on Gannon Dwyer, whose last time fly the ball deep to the right field corner. And thought it was gone off the bat, but Evan Reiter, maybe a half step in front of the wall, made the play. On the 1-1 here, Dwyer grounds one right side towards the hole and past a running Immel into right field. First base hit of the day for Gannon Dwyer and a 1-out single for the Bombers.
Yeah, and that's going to happen as a sinker pitcher is a ball is going to get hit on the ground, and eventually one of those is going to find their way through the infield. No sweat just yet for Zach Bender. Again, a 13-run lead. You still have 1 out, and now you're just a ground ball away from getting out of the inning.
Bring up Aiden Capel, who is also 0 for 2. Line to third and flew to right. Bombers just want to get something positive going right here. It has been all Saints in this one. And again, 2 off days for San Diego, tomorrow and Monday, and then their final game of the regular season, Tuesday at Conejo. Pretty decent crowd here Saturday evening. One of our producers, Jack Badsey, when he's calling a game that I'm doing, always does an official attendance count. But he is not here today, so I will do an estimate. I'm going to go with about 25 folks sitting in the bleacher-style seating here at Jackie Robinson Field. Ball and 2 strikes on Capel. I want to encourage you to stay tuned for the bottom of the 7th inning. We've got an interview coming up. It's not our typical interview with Mr. Joe O'Regan. We've got a new guest coming on. I'm not going to tell you right now, so stay tuned for the bottom of the 7th to find out who that is. One of the newer Saints, going to give you some information. Pitched yesterday, so if you're very closely attuned to Saints baseball, you can hazard a guess. Dwyer on first with 1 out. Bender's 1-2 is in there for strike 3. Another strikeout for Zach Bender. He's struck out 4 since coming into this game, and now 2 gone in the 7th.
Yeah, both of these ones in the 7th. being backwards Ks. Both of his first 2 strikeouts in the 6th were backwards Ks. He's done a great job of fooling these Bombers hitters into keeping their bats up on the shoulder.
Jackson Summers going to pinch hit here in the DH spot for Royce Davis. Playing in his 16th game now. And takes a fastball that takes off on Bender. That Andrews has to stick the glove up to grab a ball, and no strikes on Summers, the outfielder from San Juan Capistrano, California. Looking, Summers is for his first hit in more than 2 weeks. Check swing, grounder, foul off to the right side of the Bombers dugout. Last time Summers reached safely on a base hit, July 3rd against the Blues. That was the day before the CCL All-Star break.
What was your guess on the official attendance? What was your estimate?
I went with 25.
According to my quick count, just turning around and counting all the people I see, I had 29. So that was a heck of a guess.
Oh. Ground ball to shortstop. Flores will go the short way for out number 3. 1 out single for Gannon Dwyer, but back-to-back scoreless innings for Zach Bender. Time to stretch at Jackie Robinson Field. Saints enjoying a 13-0 advantage.
What's up? I'm Christian Robb. I'm a pitcher.
Cade Schumart, I'm a left-handed pitcher.
And this is Rip and Dex with the Saints. My first card, I got Luke Weaver.
David Fry.
I got Jackson Job as my next card, young guy.
We got Landon Knack.
You got Austin Hedges, another good player.
Kiter Montero.
Oh, this one's a freaky card. I got Nick Castellanos.
Oh.
It's Friday the 13th right now, so it's kind of a bad look to pull the Nick Castellanos card on Friday the 13th.
We got Nolan Jones.
JP Sears. Let's read about this guy. He's from South Carolina. That's pretty cool.
Julian Aguilar. I'm not too familiar with these guys.
No, I've heard of him for sure.
He's a pitcher though. He looks nasty.
I got Jesus Luzardo. This guy is nasty.
I got Tyler Fitzgerald.
Oh, here we go. Jordan Romano. Oh, he's from Canada.
Oh,
That's pretty sick.
wowza. Mason Montgomery, left-handed pitcher.
Alex Verdugo. He's nasty.
We got a decent one here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Matt Strom there.
Let's go.
That's huge.
I got Caden Dana. Yeah.
Bro, I just took a look at that next card.
I know. This is a sick one. I can't wait to.
I got Kyle Tucker though. I like that one. That's pretty good.
All right, I got this this 35-year anniversary Spencer Strider card. So that's pretty sick. Spencer Strider is probably one of my favorites.
Bottom of the 7th, Saints a 13-0 advantage over the Bombers. Cade Fujioka, the new pitcher into the game for San Diego, that is making his 3rd appearance on the year. We are joined right now by new Saints pitcher Christian Martinez. Christian, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great so far. Bottom of the 7th inning. Evan Ryder leads off and takes the ball a little bit inside, ball 1. You pitched yesterday. How'd it go and how are you responding?
It went really well. A little sore today. Second outing back in about 2 months, but it's always fun to compete and pitch against some cool California natives.
Yeah, you went 2 innings, didn't give up a run, didn't give up a hit, and had 4 strikeouts as well. What was really working for you?
I'm a big off-speed guy, so I like to kind of lean on that. So sweepers early in the count and to finish off batters, that was working really well for me. Getting the fastball low in the zone when I was missing up, it's always really hard to bounce back from 1-0, 2-0 counts. So just trying to find the zone early with off speed and use what's been working best for me was
Grounder to
helpful.
short that Dylan Martin bobbles, and Evan Ryder is aboard here to begin the 7th ahead of Brandon Wynn. You're one of the newer Saints on this team. What has that experience been like joining a team in the middle of the summer? And what are some of the relationships you've already developed with your coaches and teammates?
It's super fun. I mean, it's nice because I'm not overdoing it in terms of throwing, so I get a lot of quality reps in towards the end of the summer, a lot of training in early. And the relationships have been amazing. I meet a bunch of new guys from all over. Being from the South and going to school in the East, it's really cool to meet a lot of the West Coast kids. So super cool. Been playing a lot of hacky sack, and yeah, no, it's been a blast.
You mentioned you took a couple months off from throwing. This, coming back to the Saints, getting your first reps in, and what did you say, 2 months? Is that around what you said?
It was 2 months since I've been on the mound.
Grounded to short, that'll be a double play. 6 unassisted, 3, as Martin makes up for the error on Ryder, and quickly 2 gone in the 7th.
So you take a couple months off, and then you come back. What's that mentality like in your first appearance back on the mound after having some time off?
Yeah, no, it's definitely always good to be back on the mound, but I mean, I just approach it kind of just like every other game. Like, it's been something I've been doing as a kid and growing up, and I don't let it become too much of a job, and it's still that kid game I've always been playing, so it's just attack the strike zone, let your defense do the job, and just have fun. So I wouldn't say it was anything too challenging in terms of the mindset and my approach, but definitely something I was really desperate to get back to.
2-0 on Carson Panarisi as our typical broadcast interviewee. Joe O'Regan runs out and grabs the ball. That's on the outside corner, and it's 2-1. You mentioned you go to school in the East, playing here in the West, grew up in the South, so you've really experienced baseball in 3 different aspects of the country. What are some of the differences, in your opinion, and things you're enjoying here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to me, I think the West Coast is the best coast, and that's because, I mean, the weather is unbeatable all 4 seasons. In the East Coast, I went to school at Stony Brook University in Long Island, New York. So, I mean, you go out there.
I'm a Fordham guy.
Okay,
so,
nice. Yeah. So similar area. But yeah, I went out there. I went on a visit last summer, and super nice weather. And then you go in and continues with great weather, and then the winter hits and it's a different ball game. I mean, I wouldn't say it's miserable, but it's a fun challenge that I had to encounter. And then being in the South growing up, played baseball 365 days a year, and so it's just fighting through the heat. And so being in the cold climate was like, oh, all right, well, let's hope for the hot days.
2 out, base hit for Carson Panarisi, a flare into right field, and now he advances to second on a wild pitch that goes behind the catcher, Nick Halachitz. Sean Asperger at the plate, cranked a 3-run home run his last time up there.
Christian, from a pitcher's perspective on the start tonight from Hudson Carvalho, going 5 really strong innings, not giving up any runs, 6 strikeouts as well. From a pitcher's perspective, what do you think was working for him tonight?
I mean, that kid's an absolute animal. Does all the little things right. Goes out there, competes. Thinks he's the man every time, and I think that's the mindset you have to go in having. And he works counts really well, gets ahead early, and finishes them off, and that's why he has so much success. And I mean, on top of that, he's got great stuff, so that also adds on to just being an absolute dog.
Yeah, really good performance. 5 innings, scoreless all of them, and a bunch of strikeouts thrown in there as well. Christian, thanks so much for hopping on. We really appreciate the time, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you as well.
To the 8th we go. Saints thoroughly enjoying a 13-0 advantage. Going to be the top of the San Diego lineup. Martin, Jackson, Finelli against Zach Bender, who's on the bump for inning number 3. Want to give a big thank you to Christian Martinez for joining us in the bottom half of the 7th. Very nice interview, giving us insights into the Saints pitching staff, the start from Hudson Carvalho, and his experience pitching in 3 different regions of the United States. If you missed it, you can always go back a couple minutes. Just click that little red bar clicker pointer thingamabob at the bottom of the YouTube stream to go find the interview. Martin, ugly swing, and it's 0-2. Martin himself 0 for 2. He did walk back in the 6th inning, but was stranded at second base when Zach Bender buckled down and went strikeout, strikeout, ground out to keep the Bombers off the board. Tapped foul, still 0-2. Gonna find an update on this game in Compton right now. 1-0, bottom of the 7th. The Oaks are leading, but the Barons have a runner on third base with nobody out. So Oaks going to need a really impressive defensive showing in the 7th to keep Academy off the scoreboard. Back here in Pasadena, Zach Bender picking up another strikeout. Swinging and missing over the top of the breaking ball is Dylan Martin. He's 0 for 3 and out number 1 in the 8th.
Yeah, 5th strikeout for Zach Bender, but first one picked up swinging. He's been doing a great job of playing the guessing game with these Bombers hitters and coming out on the right side of it.
So 1 out for Ryan Jackson. Saints cruising along tonight. The pitching has been, tonight, probably the best it's been all season outside of Joe O'Regan starts. It's David Aguirre on third base in this Conejo game. He singled to right center, stole second base, and then advanced to third on a wild pitch. Ground ball right side to the backhand, deflected off the glove of Mangini. And Immel recovers at second base to throw to the covering Zach Bender for out number 2. That ball bounced all over the infield, and somehow the Saints get the out.
Yeah, an interesting play unfolding, but we talked about this earlier. The defense and the pitching side of things tonight has been really sharp for Arroyo Seco so far. Still no errors, knock on wood, on the defensive side of things for the Saints with, you know, that play showing right there that the defense has just been clicking tonight.
Up the middle, a base hit off the bat of Finelli. Second hit of the night for Gianluca. Third time he's been on. And a 2-out single extends the top of the 8th. Going to be a pinch hitter for Jeremy Jones. See if we can find it. Number 11 is Drew McNear, outfielder. This is the 8th game of the season for McNear. He's got a .400 average. But only 10 at-bats. Going to do some quick math. 400 average, 10 at-bats. That's 4 hits on the season. Pretty impressive. My arithmetic skills, don't you think, Riley?
Mm-hmm. If you were still in kindergarten.
Oh, whoa.
No shade, no shade.
Oh.
Math is hard. We've established that here on the Saints Streaming Broadcast Network.
Strike 2 on McNear.
Yeah, numbers are not our strong suits over here.
I think numbers are a strong suit. You just praised me for my estimate of people in the stands
Hey,
2 minutes
fair
ago,
enough.
man.
Fair enough. Praise you for your quick mental division work as well.
0-2, swing and a miss. Bender strikes out another. Bookend K's here in the 8th. And the Bombers go scoreless again. 13-0, the Saints on top as we head to the home half. Sixth pitcher of the game for the Bombers here in the bottom of the 8th, Darius Lukowski against Andrews Cheer Mangini in the home half of the 8th.
And Lukowski, been a guy who's been used very sparingly so far for the Bombers this summer. 4 appearances with just 4 1/3 innings. And it hasn't been the summer that he's necessarily been looking for. Had a really strong outing back on June 26th against the MLB Academy Barons, going 2 shutout innings. And his last outing came all the way back on June 30th against the Barons. Again, didn't have as much success in that one as the one the game before. But now comes out for his 5th, looking to silence the Saints offense with a 13-run deficit.
So here's Cam Andrews, the only man in the Saints lineup without a hit to his name yet today. Has been on base twice, the hit by pitch and a walk. Breaking ball, strike 2. You'll see a lot of breaking ones from Lukowski. Here's his pitch mix. 4-seam, slider, curve, and then he'll mix in a split and a changeup. Again, the 4-seam goes with over 60% of the time. You'll see basically every pitcher in collegiate ball lean on their fastball. Andrews thought about it, but lays off the breaker outside, and it's 2-2. Sun starting to set here at Jackie Robinson Field. A busy day. Action started at 10 o'clock Pacific time. We had a carnival benefit for the YMCA and some really fun, extravagant things. Bryce Young, Panthers quarterback, and C.J. Stroud, Texans quarterback, were in attendance, but also some Kona ice trucks, some ribs, some fun carnival games of put the basketball in the hoop, also known as basketball. Just said that because that was what the carnival game was. 3-2, flexed foul. We'll do it again. See if Cam Andrews can add a base hit to his line today, and he does. Lined over third and over the outstretched glove of Hinojosa, and now every member in the Saints starting 9 has a hit.
Andrews, like you mentioned, getting his first hit of the night, but been on base twice with a couple free passes, hit by pitch, walk as well. Scored on both. And if the trend remains the same, if Camden Andrews gets on base, he should come around to score. At least it's happened twice so far tonight.
See if Brody Cheer can help contribute. He has had, in essence, a perfect night. 2 for 2 with a walk and a sacrifice fly. And also a couple of really nice defensive plays in center field. Breaking ball right down the middle, 0-1. Lukowski going with the curveball. A lot here in the 8th inning. But the Saints with a runner on first base. 0-2 on Brody Cheer. 13-0 Arroyo Seco. They have led, not from start to finish, but from the start of the second inning, bottom of the second, that is, to where we are right now. Again, Saints back here tomorrow against Conejo, the Oaks. Final time the Saints will play the Oaks this year. Cheer the other way, a base hit into right field. Andrews will go to second on a base knock from Brody Cheer, and the Saints threatening to add on here in the 8th. First and second for Owen Mangini.
Yeah, the offense just continuing to cruise for Arroyo Seco tonight, which is really great to see. After, again, we've already mentioned it a couple times, but a 6-2 loss last night to the Philippines baseball group. Saints put up 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning and went silent throughout the rest of the game. I believe only 4 hits after that first frame. So coming into tonight, they were looking to get that offense active, and they most certainly have.
Yeah, this is a great example, as Owen Mangini takes ball 1, of the offense being great, but also being great through a prolonged stretch. 3 different 4-run innings in the 2nd, 5th, and 6th. Ugly swing and a miss, 1-1. Again, both of these teams' next games is against the Oaks. Saints tomorrow, Bombers Tuesday. Andrews on second, Cheer on first, and a swing and a miss at a slider. Want to update you on this Oaks-Barons game. The Barons have tied it 1-1 in the bottom of the 7th, and they are threatening. First and second, nobody out for Compton. On 1-2, Mangini watches a breaker away, and it's 2-2. Still a lot of work to do for the Saints. Mangini pops it up, back behind home plate, and it will bounce off of the bleachers, knock over what seems to be a Ziploc bag full of some leafy vegetable, and into the hands of a lucky fan. Two. Again, Saints 3.5 games back. They'll play one more game than the Barons this season, and the tiebreaker still very much could be anyone, so to speak. The last game of the season, the 5th game of the season between the Saints and the Barons. Mangini checked his swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. Generous call from the first base umpire, and it's full on Mangini. Last game of the season between the Saints and the Barons, the 26th of June, right back here, final home game, final game at Jackie Robinson Field. And if the Saints are within a game at that point, it'll be that one to decide their destiny. Pretty good plate appearance right here from Mangini.
Yeah, fouling off a bunch of pitches, just staying alive, running up the pitch count of Lekowski on the mound. Late into this game, a huge advantage, but still good to see that quality bats are being put together.
Never, ever want to give away at-bats, and the Saints certainly have not so far today. 3-2, Mangini lays off, and ball 4, and the Saints on single walk have the bases juiced in the bottom of the 8th.
Really strong at-bat there by Mangini to work that all the way to a walk. Handful of balls fouled off, and still good to see, like we just mentioned. Good to see late in the game, 13-run lead, that good at-bats are still being put together. Because if the good at-bats can come now, they can come in the spots when they're actually needed.
Saints get Dylan Immel to the plate here in the 8th, means we get to hear Kelly Clarkson one more time, and Immel takes the first pitch breaker for strike 1. Lekowski lost his cap. Threw that one so hard it fell off of his scalp and trickled to the bottom of the pitcher's mound. Got to imagine it's going to be Zach Bender out there for the 9th. The question, how big of a lead will he have? Immel lays off, ball 2. Check down, no, he didn't go. Immel 1 for 4 on the day. He singled back in the 2nd. But 2 really productive at-bats. Grounded out in the 5th and the 6th, but both times with a runner on third base, and both of those groundouts were to the right side and produced an additional run. Lekowski got to throw him a strike here. 3-1, bases loaded. Immel takes ball 4. RBI walk for Dylan Immel, and the Saints score again, 14-0, as Camden Andrews. That trend does indeed continue. Riley crosses home plate. And a huge insurance run here in the 8th to give the Saints a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, Cam Andrews, every time he's been on base tonight, has come around to score. You never know what can happen in the sport of baseball. Never know.
Braden Flores, certainly grateful, got a chance to drive in some more runs. Bases juiced, nobody out, ball one. And Lukowski just cannot find the zone. On 1-0, Flores takes ball two. Bad news for the Saints from Compton. Barons have taken a 3-1 lead over the Oaks, and they're threatening for more. Second and third with one out. Going to have a visit for Lukowski right now. See if he'll stay in the game. We just cannot find the strike zone at all, and the Saints know it. And this is going to be it for the right-hander. Bombers will turn to the pen for a seventh arm, get it up and moving. The bullpen was completely relaxed, so going to have a pitching change here at Jackie Robinson Field. The Saints with a football lead, 14-0. Well, we got a position player coming in to pitch. Aiden Capel, who was the second baseman, is on the mound. Jackson Summers, who pinch hit for Jeremy Jones, replaces him at second base. 2-0 the count on Flores, who takes a strike from Capel. The second baseman throwing on the mound with San Diego trailing at 14-0.
Yeah, not much to lose now for the Bombers, so get some guys some pitching action.
Popped up left field, long run, and making the play from short is Dylan Martin. So one pitch, or two pitches, I should say, and one out for Aiden Capel, who stifles the fourth leading RBI man in the CCL, Braden Flores. Pretty good for your pitching debut this season.
Absolutely, and I mean, it's kind of a similar mentality now on both sides of the ball with such a difference in the runs being scored where you just got to throw it down the middle. I mean, at some point, these batters are going to get themselves out, and, you know, Zach Bender has done a great job on it for the Saints side with a 14-run lead, and now coming in, doing it on the Bombers side, Capel doing a pretty good job so far.
Ryder Chase is 0-2. Capel playing in his 11th game, all of them coming as a position player, though. First one on the mound, grounded to short, or second rather. Flip to short, throw to first, double play. Wow. Aiden Capel comes in with the bases loaded, a 2-out count and nobody out, and gets out of it unscathed. Pop-up and a 4-6-3 DP. Saints still lead at 14-0 as we head to the ninth.
Baby, if I seem a little bit distracted, like I'm in another place and another time. Well, Ever since this morning, I've been wondering how you do that thing you did last night. Well, let me tell
Last licks in the ninth for the Bombers. They'll do it against a new pitcher. Joey Parrish is into the game for the Saints. We're in number 42, trying to close it out at Jackie Robinson Field.
Yeah, a guy who hasn't had a whole lot of action with Arroyo Seco so far this summer. 2 appearances, no starts, recordless with 2 innings pitched. 3 strikeouts in those 2 innings with a little bit of an inflated ERA because he hasn't had that big of a sample size. But now comes in looking to complete the shutout of the San Diego Bombers. Not a very high leverage situation by any means, and so there's nothing really to lose now. Should be no stress, go up there, throw strikes, end this game.
Last pitched a week ago at Conejo, and looking to close out what would be the Saints' most dominant win of the year, a 14-0 drubbing over the San Diego Bombers. Nick Halachitz will lead it off for SD. Nujosa on deck, and then Gannon Dwyer. Saints pitching has been excellent tonight. 5 scoreless from Hudson Carvalho, 3 scoreless from Zach Bender. And Joey Parrish trying to close it out. Nothing in 2. Talked about the Bombers this year. The team average at 229. They've really struggled as a team offensively. And from listening to this entire broadcast and what we've been talking about, you might think, how on earth are they 5-13? Don't know if we've given you their record so far, but that's what they are. 3-pitch strikeout to begin Joey Parrish's night, and Halachitz is out number 1 of the 9th. This is a team that is bottom 3rd in the CCL for pretty much every offensive category out there. And so you'd ask, obviously, how on earth is this team 5-13? They've gotten multiple wins over Orange County, beaten the Saints, Blues, Barons. These are good teams in the CCL. And the reason why is that their pitching is actually really good. Coming into this game, 170 strikeouts. That's 3rd in the CCL. And a whip of 1.85 from their arms. Saints, though, in danger of blanking them tonight offensively and putting up 14 on the offensive game. It has been essentially a flawless game from the Saints. Great pitching, great offense, and the defense has not made any miscues. Hinojosa swings through the fastball, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, you just talked about it. This would be the most dominant win for the Saints so far this summer by a mile. This would be the second shutout of the summer for the Saints. The first one came a couple nights ago, back on Thursday against the Conejo Oaks, where the Saints put up a really strong 4-0 win.
1-1, a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike on Hinojosa. Yeah, the pitching is really rounding into form. You mentioned what we got from Carvalho tonight. Joe O'Regan was the man who started that 4-0 shutout over Conejo. So the pitching is rounding into shape. Would be big if they can get into the postseason, but is it too little too late for Arroyo Seco? A 3.5 game deficit with just over a week left to try to chase down the Barons. And by the way, it is now 6-1 Compton. So unless that game drastically changes with an Oaks comeback, Saints are not going to gain any ground tonight, despite what should end up being a large victory over the Bombers. Count is full on Hinojosa. Barons with a 6-run seventh. Parrish is 3-2. Is swung on and missed for strike 3. Another strikeout for Saints pitching. And 2 down in the 9th.
Yeah, Saints pitching just been incredibly dominant so far tonight. Now 1 out away from closing this one out. Just 3 hits given up. Obviously nothing on the scoreboard. And now, I believe, 14 strikeouts
Ks.
combined.
In 26 outs, 14 of them have been via the strikeout. You want to avoid defensive miscues and errors, don't even let them put the ball in play. Dwyer is the last hope for San Diego, and a breaking ball in there for strike 1.
Yeah, so at least half the outs in this game going to be via the strikeout, over that with 27 being the maximum amount. It was 6 for Carvalho, the starter, 6 for Bender, and now 2 so far for Parrish.
Chopped foul, Bombers down to their final strike. Saints absolute dominant in this one. 5-run bottom of the 2nd inning. 2-run double from Brody Cheer. An RBI single to extend a hitting streak to 22 games for Evan Ryder. And then they put up 8th in the 5th and 6th inning. 4 runs in each of those half innings. 3-run homer from Sean Asperger in the 6th. Bases clearing double for Owen Mangini in the 5th. Pretty much everybody, from the pitchers to the hitters, had a great day today for the Saints, and you hope they can build on it, get some help from the teams playing the Barons, and get into the playoffs. This is a team that could be very dangerous. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball right side, but foul. Aiden Capel, who just pitched the top of the 9th inning, is on deck. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Andrews will throw down to first to complete the strikeout, and that's the game. Joey Parrish strikes out the side in the top of the 9th, and the Saints win it 14-0 over the Bombers. A fitting way for this game to end, as Saints pitching strikes out the 15th hitter they face tonight, and an absolutely dominant performance all the way around for the Saints.
Yeah, just pure domination in this one. 14 runs offensively with 15 strikeouts on the pitching side of things. No errors. This is exactly the game that the Saints were looking for after a rougher game last night against the Philippines baseball group, a 6-2 loss in that one. They were looking to bounce back to hopefully propel themselves a little bit higher in the CCL South standings heading into the final week. Looking to get into the playoff picture, chasing the MLB Academy Barons, although it seems like the Barons are going to wrap that one up. So this will be a push, and now it's going to be absolutely crunch time for the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Every game from this one on out, pretty much a must-win for the Saints if they want to try to make a great comeback in the standings and qualify for the 2026 CCL postseason. Again, Barons with a 6-1 lead over Conejo at Compton right now. That's a game the Saints really want the Conejo Oaks to win in order to give them a shot. We'll see what happens. 5-run leads. The Barons have blown it before. Can the Oaks come back and help out the Saints? If not, going to be go time for the Saints the rest of the way, and pretty much every game a must-win, along with getting some help from the rest of the CCL. But for tonight, a really good win. 14-0. They take down the Bombers and get back in the win column after the loss to the Philippines baseball group yesterday. That'll pretty much do it for us. For my broadcast partner, Riley Horn, my name is Max Langer saying so long from Jackie Robinson Field. Saints back on top with a W.